So now let's show you some of the blueberry bushes. This is, I believe, a Duke blueberry bush. I've had it for several years. I had it in the ground and it was just struggling. I finally dug it out. I was going to throw it away, but I decided to pot it up and give it one more chance. And it is loaded. So, good call, I suppose. Oh, that was attractive. Got a surprise lily clump. The foliage is starting to yellow back, so that'll be getting cut back soon. Some stuff I left out. A couple of hyacinths, absolute favorite. These are the old-time variety. They are purple and have a wonderful scent. This blueberry bush is Brightwell. It's a rabbit eye type. It's got a few blossoms on it. The one hiding in the middle here is a powder blue. It was doing pretty rough too. It was close to where the Duke was, and I think it was too close to a pine tree, and the pine tree was robbing all the nutrients, but it has bounced back pretty good. This is a climax blueberry. Got some nice big fruit on it. And this one is called Premier. It's doing pretty good too. I dug up some red-veined sorrel and just popped it in this container until I can figure out what to do with it. It is very pretty, but I do not like the flavor. It is nowhere near as good as the Sorrel de Belleville. So if you had a choice between the two, I would go with the Sorrel de Belleville because it's got a much better flavor. My daughter started these. These are Seashell Cosmos. They need to be planted out pretty soon. These are some more of my apple blossom snapdragons. Apple blossom snapdragons. Double bachelor buttons. Purple Prince zinnia. I'm not sure what to think of these. The packet said Gloriosa daisy. When I googled that, it came back Gloriosa rudbeckia. So I'm not that experienced. I don't know if they're in the same family or what. The leaves do look like rudbeckia. It's supposed to be a yellow and red variety. The packet says they bloom the second year and they're perennials. We'll see. Got some more. Oh, got a worm on there. Ugh, get off there. Northern Lights zinnia. More Northern Lights. I don't know if that's how you say this one. Lilliput zinnia. Assorted colors. They're all just kind of like fun surprises. You don't know what color they're going to be till they come up. So that's kind of exciting if you're not really planning a structured, a structured area. It's kind of fun to see what might come up. And over here, this is a peace rose. I got it from Jackson & Perkins for Mother's Day, I think 2 years ago. This will be its second growing season, I think. I'll have to go back and check that. It's got something going on with it. Some sort of disease, possibly fungal, not really sure. Got a little bit of cane dieback. I'm not sure if the new growth being red is healthy or not. I'm not real familiar with roses, but it did excellent last year. Struggling this year. I've had to take out several canes after I had already pruned it this spring. Some of the most catchy gardening advice I've heard is for roses, it's time to prune when the forsythias bloom. So that's what I did. I'm hoping to get out here with a copper spray pretty soon and see if that helps with the whatever disease is going on. It is putting on a couple of flower buds. There's one there. Don't know where the other one went. There's one forming there. got some more surprise lilies. These, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I got these from my grandmother's garden area. She's got a garden area that has kind of gone wild and reverted back to kind of natural land, and these were getting shaded out. So I got a few and put them in to get them going again. They're getting close to needing to be cut down. This one here was unfortunately the victim of me trying out my propane torch, and things were a little drier and they got burned, but they're coming back pretty good. This is where I planted the original 4 of the 6 Priscilla gladiolas, close to the edge of the garden. And here is Tiff Blue rabbit eye blueberry bush. It's still in the ground because it's doing good. The rest of them struggled horribly, so I've potted them up in those big pots on the house there. And the potted ones seem to be bouncing back and doing pretty good. This one never did struggle, so I'm not sure what it is about this spot. Garden cat. All right, let's see over here. This poor, really sad looking, misshapen Red Haven peach. We bought it not too long after we moved in, just from a big box store, and planted it. I knew nothing about peach trees. I'm still learning. And we didn't prune it for, I don't know, the first 6 years we had it, so that kind of really turned into this. And then we started trying to prune and things were breaking, and we've got a lot of critters around here that enjoy peaches, and they would get up in the branches and they would break. So the poor thing just makes me sad to see it's so mistreated. So I bought a replacement Red Haven peach about a week ago. Thought about planting it close to this one and then cutting it down once the new one gets established. I don't know that I can do it, so I'm going to take after it with probably a pole saw and some loppers. I may tie down some of the branches, get them at better angles, since we lost most of one of our scaffold branches. And then kind of a water spout, I don't know which one it is, took over and is just shooting to the heavens. So I figure if my major renovation effort on it kills it, well, we were considering cutting it down anyway. Over here is my strawberry bed. Just this year added the hardware cloth fencing and the bird netting over the top. Last year I probably got 4 strawberries because of various critters eating the strawberries while still on the plant and just leaving me the cap. How considerate. So went and got some fencing and netting, and we have been getting strawberries for the last several days now, and we've got a lot more to come. So I'm very excited about that. There was originally 75 plants. This third was, I don't know how you say it, Honeyoy? I don't know. The middle third is Ozark Beauty. Oh, the Honeyoy is a June bearer. Ozark Beauty is an ever bearer. And I believe this one over here is supposed to be Sparkle, which is a June bearer. This side gets a lot more shade, as you can tell. Not growing quite as well, but it is still setting fruit. Got some small fruits on there, so we'll see. Got a strawberry bloom there. Hello. Turn into a yummy berry for us. Over here is my raspberry bed. planted roughly the same time as the strawberry bed. I got all the plants from Stark Brothers. And they are Joan J. Primocane, supposed to be thornless raspberries. They are not thornless at all. They're just not as thorny. Our University of Arkansas Extension Office, the website, says spring production of raspberries is not recommended to cut them all down in late winter. I don't know why they didn't give an explanation, so I'm doing an experiment. I left 1, 2 canes to produce some berries this spring to see why we're not supposed to. You know, do they get diseased or do they taste horrible? Do all the insect and disease pressures get to them? Look at a little baby raspberry. Super excited because raspberries, I think, are my absolute favorite fruit, and these were amazing. So good. And I just can't do it. I have a raspberry bed, but all these escaped. I've marked them off with flags, so maybe my husband won't mow them down. And we'll just see how many more raspberries I can get. Originally, these were 3 plants. Soon after we planted them, we went out of town to visit some relatives, came back, and an armadillo had dug up one of my plants and it had desiccated. But as you can see, it has filled in nicely. I hope it takes over. Okay, I almost hope it takes over the yard because these are so good. There's a few plants of purple coneflower in the back that I had transplanted. Something is eating them horribly. The poor leaves. Look at that. They're so holy and not in a good way. I finally got my drip system run into these 2 beds. The strawberry bed I just finished a few weeks ago. The raspberry bed I got done in the fall. So I'm hoping these will really take off now that they've got water to them. I just did this fence this year too because the armadillos love to dig in here once I got the water going to find worms because it was the only diggable soil. So that was frustrating, and there was a cat. Will not name names, but I really don't know which cat it was. We've got several strays that did like to dig in the mulch, and that is not good in an edible garden area. And this I am pretty excited about. It is an endless summer hydrangea. I have always wanted some hydrangeas. I went to a nursery. I could not pass it up. And I want to plant a lot of my spare plants here. I'm out of space in the garden, and I've started way more plants than I have garden area for. Eventually, I would like to take a piece of equipment and level this area and turn it all into planting area. That's not in the cards this spring for sure. But I need to get this one in the ground. Oh, hello, Shadow. I need to get this one in the ground, and I can dig it up and put it in its forever home, hopefully when it's dormant. Somewhere in this general area, I have put some of my extra purple cone flowers back here. And I've got a couple more areas I'd like to show you. They're way out there. So let's go. Before we head over to the other spot, I did want to show you. I've dug a hole. But I didn't get my drip system until August last year, so I've not had much time to really check it out. But from what little I've had it, I love it because I can be watering the garden and doing something else at the same time. Kitty cat, check. Hey, kitty cat. You look happy. Loving life. Hey, but oh my goodness. Hey, buddy. Got some bulbs planted here, some jonquils we call them. I think they're also called daffodils, narcissus. Got a lot of weeds. Got some hyacinths in here, some muscari, grape hyacinths. Now let's go to the other side of the property that I was telling you about. Look at that sky. A lot of clouds, kind of pretty. I really hope y'all can hear the birds. You probably can't for me talking though. Garden. Not sure you can see that tree with the red buds on it is a buckeye tree. It's getting tall. Hummingbirds really like these flowers. And I think the seeds are so neat looking. They almost look like wood. They've got a wood grain on them. Poison ivy, which I am highly allergic to. This is an old rose. I think it's I don't remember what it's called, but it's kind of a fuchsia color. Look at all these buds. This is the first I've noticed that. That's exciting. So it's going to be blooming soon. They're kind of a fuchsia color, dark pink. And I transplanted this over here to get a start of it, but it's got a little bit of a spotting going on. With our humidity, we've got quite a few disease issues, fungal diseases with things. I've got a, oh, I just put my knees on the ground and they just got wet. We've got dahlia. Oh, look, the tag, dahlia. Got a couple of purple cone flowers, echinacea. I believe that's a cactus zinnia and a rudbeckia. But me and my daughter came up here and planted some sunflower seeds. We literally just took a flathead screwdriver, stabbed a hole, put in a seed, and smooshed it in. Forgot, these are some of my pepper plants. I've done an experiment where I have 2 of each variety, and I pruned one and left one unpruned, and we'll see how they do compared to each other. My aloe plants, all of them looked more or less like this pitiful one. And I've had them for many, many years. Last year I set them out on the porch and they turned into these big, lush, beautiful, healthy plants. This one has 3 in there and it's pupping. Look at that little pup. I'm gonna have to get him out of there because 4 aloe plants in like a, I don't even know what this is, like a 5-inch pot. I think it's too many, although I have heard they do like to be crowded. Cat's gonna take a drink out of the bird bath. Like I don't give him fresh water. I wasn't talking to you. Yeah. Put a rock in the bird bath so bugs, beneficials can come down and get a drink. Poor bird bath though. It was my great-grandma's and it is falling apart. The seahorse to the left of the screen, pretty much, I don't know how he's still standing. The whole thing was wobbling when we turned the basin over. I don't know how he's still up. It's going to be sad to see it go, but I know nothing about repairing these. Nothing I would pick out myself, but just knowing it was my great-grandmother's makes it special. Now the peony, wow. This is the best it has ever done. I don't know what variety it is. It was here when we moved in. It has been in the same spot. This is the first year though I had bought a grow through grid for it because these are so big. They usually flop over in the rain and then never stand back up. They're doing really good. Look at that. So many buds. It starts out that lovely pink color. And then it opens to this. I was going to cut one and bring it in, but they smell just a little bit too strong. So we will keep them out here and enjoy them. Rose of Sharon. I got that from my coworkers. I was having surgery and they bought me a plant as a recovery gift. I do like it. This stock tank I'm hoping to turn into a worm bin soon. The landscape timbers I'm hoping to put around a new garden area. This was my old compost bin for quite a while. It never really worked good because we've got so many critters that anything I put in there, they would just come and eat. I did have a volunteer peach tree. It died this year. I think it was that cold snap in February again. So I'm hoping to disassemble this, cut the tree out, and kind of clean up this area because the honeysuckle on it is just making it look messy. And we can see this out of one of our side windows, so not a very awesome area. Some very healthy poison ivy down there. Looks like a snaky area too, so I'm not going to get back in here too far. Hey, kitty. Yeah, you think I'm talking to you. So there you have it. That's the tour of my current state of my garden in May of 2021. Follow along and see how it changes and grows and evolves. Different projects we get into and finish and complete. Dream up and don't start for 2 or 3 years. And just, yeah, see how it goes. See ya.